Attention, all stations. Good evening, everyone, and welcome. Bonsoir, tout le monde, et bienvenue. This is Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Juliet Zulu, VA3 CJZ, opening the weekly amateur radio exchange group Simplex Net, also known as AREG, for Wednesday, March 13th, 2024. This week is 1,591 times that AREG has been on the air consecutively. My name is Chuck, and my station is located in East Hamilton. And this net is on every Wednesday night, starting at 8 p.m. and ending around 10 p.m. local time here on 146.430 megahertz. And since this is a simplex net, not everyone will be able to hear everyone else. And so I also stream the net on YouTube. So people who tune in can hear stations they cannot hear on their radio because this is simplex. And they can hear how their audio sounds on the air and see their signal strength, as well as see my station layout. Just type in my call in the YouTube search box, again, VA3CJZ, and you can find us there live. Or tonight we'll be under the title AREG Week 1591. And so finally, we just ask that you please leave a 1 second, maybe 2 second between transmission to allow other stations to break in. May I now have check-ins for this week's AREG?
Victor Echo 3 Golf Bravo Delta.
Okay, George, I have GBD, and somebody doubled with George. Who was that?
XJ.
All right, AXJ, I'm sorry. You're going to have to be number 2 tonight. Let's say hello. George overpowered you big time. Let's say hello to VE3 GBD. George, come on in.
Oh, not much to report there, Chuck, but I just thought I'd throw a bean in the pot, and I'd probably be remaining. I knew Rick was going to try it, but I think I got a little more power over him. Thank you, radio.
Oh, definitely. We might even be a tad closer, I think, also. So that helps. But anyways, George, I already wished you happy birthday. How did it go? Do you have a good birthday?
Oh, buddy, it was fantastic. We had a really good time. We actually didn't go to the bar to do karaoke. We actually did it here at the house because it's a lot cheaper.
Oh, yeah, you got that right. And if you happen to have a machine at home, you make your own fun, right?
Yeah, exactly, and that's what we did. That's what I said to my wife. I don't want to go out. I don't want to spend money on, $10 beers or whatever and drinks. I have no idea. I said, no. I got beer here. We got booze here. We got the karaoke machine here. So let's just do it here. Have fun. And we did. We had a great time. I think the karaoke machine actually went for a poo-poo after, I don't know, around 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, everything to the right. Well, I'm glad you had a good time there, George, and congratulations on making one more trip around the sun, my friend. Anything else before we keep moving? By the way, I got my garbage out already, George.
Well, I got my garbage out. All my garbage is out. I hope so. Unless my wife says, oh, we got garbage. Well, tag it and bag it and I'll put it out. I always keep my blue boxes in until 2 because I don't, those guys that go through the cans and they just make a mess. So I just put it out just before they come and pick the blue boxes up. But everything else, I believe, is out.
All right, very good, very good. Yeah, well, those cans and bottles there, beer cans and bottles, uh, for some people that's a living. You know, I know in the states, it doesn't even have to be a beer can. It can be a can of Coke. It's worth money. It's tin, right? So you see people with these huge, huge clear plastic bags there, and they go along the highways, they go through parks, everywhere, and pick up cans and bottles if they find them. So yeah, it can be, but you got to work for it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. What I do is any like spare cans, I save them for Larry's kid. I'll bag them and then I'll let them know that okay, I got some cans for you.
Yeah, there you go. Well, I hope he appreciates that. All right, George. Well, thank you so much for checking in this week. We missed you last week, but you were, I actually cheersed you or said happy birthday on the YouTube stream for you there. So I knew you were kind of busy. So thanks for checking in, George. So let me slip on down to number two, VA3AXJ. Rick, come on in.
Geez, I hope George wiped his boots off. He walked on me there. Anyhow, not much to say there, Chuck. Very, very busy
Ah,
day. Tired. I'm almost ready to pass out here. Uh, the work around here, starting to clean up and the lawns and open a few things up. Getting ready to, for the better weather. Gorgeous day today. Oh, beautiful day.
yes. Speaking of which, I was going to get to that. It's showing 16 degrees right now out on my front porch. And what does the Hamilton Airport say? It said 17 earlier. Let's see what it said. That still says 17 here. So phenomenal day today. Absolutely. I was outside for a bit myself. But to enjoy the sunshine, I have to go out in my backyard because it faces south, and the front porch can be a little bit chilly because it's in the shade all the time. So, mind you, it's great in the summer. When my neighbor Kevin there is sitting on his front porch cooking, I'm pretty cool under the shade over at my place. So, yeah, it's all about location.
Yeah, well, I get the sun all day. All day.
Oh yeah, you're facing east west.
Yeah, first day since October. No long underwear.
Ah, very good. I know there's probably a few of yous out there today in your shorts and t-shirt. That brings me, by the way, to the first day of spring is only in a few days. Rick, it's on Tuesday, March 19th, 6 days from now. Mind you, it says it comes in at 11:06 p.m., but nonetheless, it's a day or two earlier than normal. Normally, it's on the 21st. Um, of that month. And I think because it's a leap year, we kind of uh, got moved back there this year for the equinox. So, yeah, Tuesday, March 19th, is the first day of spring. And 2 days before that, on Sunday, is St. Patrick's Day.
I thought they moved St. Patrick's Day either one way or the other, one day ahead or one day back. Heard that a while ago. I don't know if it's true or though.
St. Patrick's Day? No, it's always been on the 17th as far as I can remember. But the spring equinox is usually on the 21st, I thought, or 20th at the, earliest. So I'm pretty sure leap year has something to do with it.
Yeah, pretty sure. Anyhow, okay, we'll pass it down back to net control there and see how many check-ins we can get tonight. And I'm waiting for that on this day. And the trivia. Hope I can stay awake long enough. I'll back to you, Chuck, in case I didn't, I don't make it again. Thanks for doing it. Yeah, I'll be trying to listen.
All right, very good, Rick. And before I do another call out, I'd like to acknowledge the people checking in on our YouTube stream. Wade, VA3NCA, saying hello, and he'll be a little bit late, but he is listening on the YouTube. And we also have Wayne B from Mississauga, I believe, VA3FMB. Good evening, Wayne. And we have Bill, VE3IUK. Good evening, Bill. And so with that, let's see who else is out there would like to check in to the weekly amateur radio exchange group. This is VA3CJZ. Okay, that was a perfect double, and I'll have to ask you to repeat.
VE3ZJC.
MQ Mobile.
All right, that was close, but you guys got it separated. Very good. ZJC and MQ. So let's say hello to Jason, VE3 Zulu Juliet Charlie. Come on in.
Good evening, Chuck, and everybody else on frequency. Not much traffic for me. It was absolutely gorgeous afternoon, as others have said. Hope everybody got to enjoy some of it. I know I decided it was worthy to pay the 407 people their $15 to get home without the traffic, and dusted off my bike and got out for the first of many, hopefully, 20K rides this spring. Not even spring, this winter. So you had to take advantage of it. And yeah, other than that, yeah, it was a work from office day and all of the excitement that is entailed with that. I'm sitting here at my station, cleaning up some stuff and getting some other equipment ready to hand over to the missus here for her plants in her office. Nothing else from me, sir. I will pass it back to you and let you get Tom there, who is mobile. VE3ZJC back to net control.
All right, very good, Jason. Thanks for checking in, sir. And let's say hello to Tom, VE3MQ Mobile. Come on in, Tom.
Good evening, Chuck. Good evening to everybody else. Just sitting here having a cup of coffee at Lottridge and thought, I better go and check in.
Oh, right on. 12 office, eh? Very good. Yeah, I'm drinking coffee also, but it's homemade. Well, you know, my wife used to work at Timmy's as well, so I pretty much every night when she came home brought me a cup. So yeah, I miss it every once in a while. She'll buy me one, but yeah, now we just make our own. It's a lot cheaper too. Anyways, Tom, anything new and exciting?
Absolutely nothing. She not down there on Queenston no more?
No. They let her go a couple of years now, right? A couple of weeks before Christmas. Nice, eh?
That don't surprise me. With Tim Hortons, they're brutal. Yeah, Tracy's at the traffic circle, and they're always hiring.
Yep. High turnover. I know her store there at one point was getting a pretty large amount of staff that were from Southeast Asia. And so it pretty much taken over that spot. But anyways. So what happened to your daughter's car there? Did she get it all repaired and new engine and all that? It's working okay?
Actually, yeah, they put a new engine in it, new starter, transmission, the whole 9 yards. The car is like $1 million now. It had 130,000 kilometers on that motor, which is nothing. The new motor's only got 78,000 on it, so it should do her a while.
Yeah, right on. I remember I had an old 67 Dodge Polara, and I lent it to my boss's wife to take a trip to Montreal. And wouldn't you know it, the engine blew right at 100,000 miles.
Yeah, it's typical for the Polaris. Back in the day, they didn't know how to make motors. This truck has only got 132,000 K on it, so it's just breaking in now.
Yeah, cars are differently made nowadays for sure. I know. Unless you carried a wrench in your car and tightened up everything all the time, you're bound to spring leaks here and there. And uh, yeah, so, anyways, well, I'm glad um, they got it all straightened out, and she's got a reliable vehicle now.
Yeah, and I'm anal when it comes to leaks. It drives me absolutely bonkers, so I generally get it fixed. Okay, Chuck, I'm going to listen along. VE3MQ, back to net control.
Okay, very good. Thanks, Tom. And I think that brings us to the end of my list here. Okay, so let's see who else is out there would like to check in with us. I know it's a beautiful evening, probably a lot of people taking a nice walk, but let's see if anyone else would like to check in with us here on the weekly Amateur Radio Exchange Group. This is VA3 CJZ.
B3BK.
India Mike Whiskey.
VA3XLJ.
He's probably rubbing his ears off after you keyed up there, Rick.
Yeah, with the Kleenex because they're bleeding. No, I was just one finger typing here. So I got BK, IMW, and XLJ. XLJ, are you mobile?
I'll park it too. When you come back to me, I'll be stationary.
All right, very good then. So let's say hello to North End Rick, VE3 Bravo Kilowatt.
Yeah, good evening, and I heard you in there, Tom. Anyway, good evening to everybody on frequency. Nothing for the net, really, and just say hello and be listening along. Waiting for what comes next there, Chuck. VA3CJZ, V3BK.
All right, a quick check-in for Rick. All right, very good then, Rick. Well, thanks for checking in and listen along with us there. I'm sure we won't get as many check-ins as we normally do, but let's see. We'll go down the list here. We'll get back to you in a bit, Rick. Whenever you want to break in, please do. Let's say hello to Mac now, VA3IMW. Mac, come on in.
Good evening, Chuck, and everybody else who's listening and not listening, should be listening. But gorgeous day, absolutely gorgeous day. And I had to take advantage of it. And I stopped in a park just south of Puss Lynch on the way home from work. Got in a quick 20-minute activation, 19 contacts in 20 minutes. That wasn't too bad. And what was that? Fletcher's Street Eco Reserve. Yeah, that's the name of it. Charlie Alpha 5363. Very quick activation. Did 10 contacts on 40 meters. Discovered I got to do some work on grounding with the ATAS 120 because 40 meters is not tuning as well as I like it. And 20 meters was absolutely flawless. Obviously, all the other bands are working just perfectly. Got some work to do on grounding and bonding in order to make sure that I can improve the match there. But other than that, yes. So what did we see? 19 degrees on the temperature gauge. So that was a nice way to, when you can roll the window down and cruise along the highway, and you're not frostbitten in the ears. Something you can get used to in a big hurry. Anyways, it is Wednesday. It's hump day, so glad that you are back here, and we can certainly depend on you for being that kind of stand-up guy that runs this significant event on a weekly basis. So let me thank you in advance for a wonderful job that you're doing tonight. Back to you, Chuck.
Oh, well, thank you very much, Mac. It's a good thing I'm not wearing a hat because I don't think I'd be able to put it back on if I took it off. Very good, Mac. Well, thank you very much. And I've been trying to listen to some of you guys in the last few days there, and I've had trouble uh, bringing you in with any significant audio. And I have a high, like 25, 30 S units of noise. And so I can hear a guy a few hundred miles away in Idaho, but I have a hard time picking you up. Like there's a few guys are just pounding in here, and the signals are bouncing at a more of an arc than locally, right? So unfortunately, even Kevin today, I wasn't able to hear him well enough to communicate. I think I did make one contact with him yesterday or today. I don't remember. But I listened, but I figure, if I can't hear the other party, there's no sense in me throwing my call out. So when I do hear you there, Mac, we'll definitely jump in there and give you a check in. And so, like I mentioned earlier, there's two big days coming up. First, there's St. Patty's Day on Sunday, March 17th. That's this Sunday. So get all your green beer for the event and all your accessories that you're going to need. And I think they turn the river green in Windsor, um, in between Detroit and Windsor there every year. So we'll see what happens this year. I think a few other places do it too. And then 2 days after St. Patty's Day, we have the very first day of spring, March 19th on a Tuesday this year, and a day or two earlier than normal. Usually it's on the 21st. But the first day of spring arrives at 11:06 p.m. according to Google here. So there you go.
Yeah, QSL. So the first full day of spring would be the 20th, which is one day early, and that's largely because of the leap year, I
think. Yeah, I would tend to agree. That's what's going through my mind. And what else do we have there? Yeah, gorgeous weather, but as you know, it's going to dip back down again, and that's listen, this is not normal temperatures to be having 20 degrees in the middle of March. Geez, I've come back from March break and had a foot and a half of snow to shovel on a couple of occasions there. So yeah, but we'll take it when we can, like days today for sure. And I should have went out for a walk, but I just hung out here. Anyways, Mac, I think I mentioned to you I got a park in France the other day, but doesn't look like he's uploaded his log yet. So, and I just went to check, and the web page was locking up on me. It wasn't loading, so we'll check it later.
Oh, sorry I cursed you, but yeah, the first station that I made contact with, Parks on the Air station in France, never did upload his logs. So yeah, it's just one of those things. You know, you made contact with him. He knows he made contact with you, but yeah, it's not in the system until he uploads his logs. I trust he doesn't delay too much, but sometimes these guys just don't do it at all, and I don't understand why. Anyways, yeah, enjoy the weather as good as it gets. Just remember the old adage, in like a lamb, and you know what comes next. So March 1st was a very nice day, and that it paints a picture of what is yet to come.
Yeah, it's been pretty wild ride for sure. Especially they keep saying about 2023 was the hottest year for the entire globe, hottest year on record, and so that I don't know, that's it's a historical event. It's in the history books, so we'll have to wait and see if the Earth is just going through cycles like it does over the millennia and billions of years that it's been around. So I'm not quite sure it's all climate related. But anyways, we won't go there because that's political. Anyways, Mac, thank you so much for checking in. Do you have anything else for us before I do another call out?
No, that's me for now. I don't want to time out the net. Hi.
All right, very good, Mac. Thank you, sir. And let's move down to Vanya, see if he's settled into his perch. Victor Alpha 3, X-Ray, Lima, Juliet. Come on in, Vanya.
VA3 CJZ VA3 XLJ. Hello, Chuck, and whoever is listening. So, yeah, I'm on my usual place by the garbage can.
The garbage
And
can.
the day is nice, and the window is a little bit open, and there's not much breeze actually, but there's a little bit, I guess. But it's very nice and mild, and I really like it. So here's me and my son, so he's goofing off on his tablet, and this is my first sugar fix of the day. So when we finish, this is gonna be time for me to settle him for the day and start making overtures for the work. Anyways, talking about climate change. I was reading an article a little while ago, so we got nothing to do with the climate, only with the ice sheets. What do you call those? Ice formation. They're like a very, very thick. I forgot the name of it. Anyways, glaciers and stuff like that. And I guess that one of the glaciers receded so much, so they are finding Viking settlements where the glacier ice was thick, like quite a bit. And they're kind of wondering why would they live underneath the ice or something like that. Anyway, and another one, the most interesting one was is the one with it's also related to the Vikings or Scandinavian people. Like they went halfway up to the mountain and they found the sword which was frozen for who knows how long, like 500-600 years, and they're wondering, why would someone be there, like when the ice receded at that time. So it's interesting what's going on. Like, but I think, in my personal opinion, pollution is gonna get us. Anyways, back to you, Chuck.
Yeah. That reminds me, I was watching an episode of The Curse of Oak Island, where they think there's buried treasure from hundreds of years ago on an island off of Nova Scotia called Oak Island, because back then it was covered in oak trees. And they're linking the possibility that Scandinavians had made their way down, all the way down to Nova Scotia on the southern tip there. And we know that the Scandinavians did settle in Newfoundland, I think it was. They found these huts that the Vikings had there. So they're thinking they might have made their way all the way down. Who knows how far, right?
Yeah, you are correct. Now that you mentioned the hidden treasure, buried treasure, I think 2-3 days ago I was reading about some two park rangers in Central America or South America, and after the storm, like they were just wandering around in a mangrove, and they find a couple of chests buried on a beach, or they pop out like out of the sand with like 200 million worth of the trinkets made out of gold and gems and other stuff.
Holy moly! That's something you would see right out of a movie. Oh, wouldn't that be cool, eh? But yeah, these people on Oak Island think that the Knights Templar may have fled Europe with their treasure because they were all found guilty of heresy, and they were tortured and all burned at the stake and all that. And they're thinking some of them made their way back with treasure to the New World here. And get this, they've drilled holes and found beams, wooden beams that indicate there's a tunnel underground anywhere from 100 to 150 feet in various locations. So they're thinking that island has been a depository for treasure for long time.
So what are we waiting, Chuck? Grab the shovels and pick.
Yeah, but it's all about doing research and digging a hole here, hole there. They have a shaft now that is literally 2 feet above where they found one of the tunnels or one of the beams for the tunnel, and they hired a mining company, and they're getting down there. So yeah, unfortunately, the season is going to come to an end because it was filmed last year, right? So you know how it goes. Season ends, season starts, and so we're going to be left with a cliffhanger again. But wouldn't that be neat, eh? Finding old relics from the Bible times, even that would be cool.
Yeah, there was a gentleman a few years ago in the stateside. He was walking around and I don't know what he did, but he found I don't know what is it, like a sack or whatever there you call it thing, like a horse saddle filled
Oh
with
yeah.
the gold coins from around uh, the predates the Civil War, I believe.
Oh yeah.
So it was worth like a 5.8 million, or it's a couple of $1 million anyways, in the stateside. I mean, who knows what is buried outside? And I mean, it's just interesting to even read about it. But when I read about it, like about those treasure chests from a couple of days ago, I mean, first thing that came to my mind is the Flying Dutchman. But who knows what the pirates, like a little bit of too much room, and they could not find the same spot again.
Yeah. But to find wooden beams 100 to 150 feet deep underground on this island that's not very big. Uh, that's crazy because the proof is right there, and of course it costs a lot of money for all the equipment and all the digging. And they put down a couple of cans that are 8 feet across, and uh, yeah, it was quite the endeavor there. But they didn't hit a jackpot. But now they're right on top of something, and they're getting closer. So let's hope they find something.
Oh yeah, best of luck to them. So plus gonna make interesting episodes. So that's all good, all good.
Yeah, and it'll rewrite some Canadian history, I'm sure, in as we learn more. Anyways, Vanya, thank you so much for checking in with us, sir. You sounded great tonight. Uh, awesome signal as always. And what else can I say? Yeah, get your green beer for Sunday, and then shine up your golf clubs there for the first day of spring. Hey, those golf clubs are open for business early, this year. They must be loving it because that's money for them, right? And then the ski resorts are all losing money because there's been no snow. Go figure. Okay, Vanya, anything else for us?
No, I'm gonna stay here for a little while, and then I'm gonna head downhill, and I'm gonna call it quit shortly after that. So if you don't get hold of me, I'm gonna guys give you 7-3 right now, and till next Wednesday or tomorrow.
All right, very good. Oh, by the way, last week you had pizza, right? How often have you had pizza since then?
0 times.
Oh, okay. Just checking. I got this thing for pizza. I don't know. All right. So we'll clear with VA3XLJ, and let's see who else out there would like to check in with us on the weekly AREG Net Amateur Radio Exchange Group. This is VA3CJZ. Boy, that was a weak signal to me. Can anyone relay that? I'm wondering, is that Art?
definitely is not.
Okay, well, I'm that station. I'm sorry, but you'll have to get closer in order for us to make you out there. I'm unable to make you out. Crank up your power, turn it up to 11, and maybe we'll pick you up a little later. But thank you for trying. This is VA3 CJZ with the Weekly Amateur Radio Exchange Group, and I'm looking for check-ins. Anyone, anywhere, please come now.
Victor, Alpha 3, Charlie, Romeo, Chuck.
VA3 NCA.
All right. Got it that time. That was Vern, and then Wade right behind him. So let's say hello to VA3, Charlie, Romeo, Foxtrot.
Good evening, Chuck, and everybody else next. Chuck, what a gorgeous day. We hit the sun for a couple hours. Not jacket. And Chuck, the park was absolutely awesome. There were tons of kids and parents there, obviously, because of March break. But what a perfect day. Back to you.
Yeah. They should make Family Day on a super nice day that's not cold, like today. They should right out of the blue within a 2-week period there pick the warmest day and say, okay, today is Family Day. So yeah, I can just imagine probably down by the beach as well, Van Wagner's Beach there. A lot of people like to rollerblade, ride their bikes, and walk. So yeah, very good then. It's still really nice out. It says here it's 15.
Yeah, as I headed out, that's what it was up here, 14, 15. Just have a light jacket on, don't need anything more than that. It was a very light breeze, just a little... Like middle of March? Come on, go to Florida.
Yeah. Some people who are waiting to go to March break in Florida there are getting the best of both worlds. Come back with a tan, and it'll be like summer up here. So, anyways, Vern, thanks for checking in. Your signal is bobbing up and down, but I'm able to make out everything you're saying, sir.
Good, Chuck. Thanks for picking me up. And if because I was listening along.
All right, very good, Vern. Thank you for your check-in. Let's see now. I heard Wade next in there. VA3, November Charlie Alpha. Pretty sure I heard Wade in there. Maybe he got tied up. Let's try it again. Victor Alpha 3, November Charlie Alpha.
VA3 CKZ, VA3 NCA. Yeah, no, operator error. I reached for the hand mic and the cable rolled my VFO. So I was waiting to hear you call me, and you weren't calling me. And then I heard you on the YouTube side a couple seconds delayed, not having checking for me where I went. So, anyways, operator error. The problem was between the handset and the chair, but I've resolved it now. So. Good evening, Chuck, and good evening all on net. Another good Wednesday to do AREG. I missed you there, Mac, when you were activating. I was busy with that work thing, but I'll catch you next time. And congratulations, Bill. I hear you went out for the first solo activation you did, and hope it went well. I'm sure it did. And for anybody who's interested, still trying to figure out how to get this, but there is a new POTA piece of logging software called Ham2K. Some people seem to like it. It seems to me you got to go through a bunch of hoops to actually get it on your phone. So I'm trying to see if I can make it through those hoops and try it out myself. But some people seem to be liking it. Anyways, I'll let people know what I think of it when I find it. But if you're interested yourself, do a Google search for Ham2K POTA logging software and see if you can get any information on it. Might be a Hammer's contender. I'm not sure yet, but anyways, I like trying it out anyhow, so we'll see how it looks. Anyways, send it back to you there, Chuck, VA3NCA.
Yes, absolutely there, Wade. I noticed a story on the QRZ webpage there on the very top. It says there's a new portable logger in town, an alternate to hammers. So I haven't gotten a chance to read that there. Is that what you're talking about?
Sounds like it could be. I'm not sure. The package I'm talking about is called Ham2K. So if that's what they were talking about, then we're talking about the same thing. They have positioned it as sort of a Hammers replacement, mostly I think because the guy who did Hammers has sort of gotten busy with other things and hasn't been around much lately to provide updates and fixes. Most notably recently is the change in the parks. Hammers doesn't look up the new parks. It'll log them just fine. Like, it's not an issue for logging whatever you type in for a park, but it won't look up the new park codes properly. So a little bit of loss of functionality, but it's still the logger I use when I go to POTA. It's got a couple of other issues too, and if the guy doing it for free decides he's got other things he's got to do, then that's his business. You can't really fault him for it. But it would be nice to get an update on it. But in the meantime, other options may be this Ham2K. So I don't know if you find it again on QRZ. If it says Ham2K, that's what I'm talking about. If it's something else, I'm interested in that as well, because I'd like to poke around and find the next best thing.
Yeah, well, I haven't had time to read the story there, but it's on the top right of the QRZ page. Um, yeah, I'll have to wait till I have more time to check it out. And so, with that, anything coming up this weekend there, Wade, or soon? A lot going on there. We got St. Patty's Day on Sunday. I wonder if anybody's going to activate parks on St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, maybe St. Patrick's Day with some green spring weather would be good on the weekend. Maybe I'll try and do something there. I'm sure somebody local will be out, so that'll be good. Yeah, I just looked on QRZ, by the way, about that thing. I think that might be. Yeah, they don't say, do they? They just have a link. So I'll dig through that and see if it's the one that I'm thinking of. But what was I going to say? I had something I was going to mention, and now it must be getting old here. Anyhow, I know what it was. They make you jump through a bit of hoops to get on the beta. You have to join a Google group, like an email list on Google with the account that you get updates for your phone on. Otherwise, they won't join up. So, anyways, I'm stumbling through that. Some people, I don't know. I hope that if they get out of beta and decide that they're going to distribute this, I hope they make the process easier. But for now, there seems to be a couple of hoops. But anyways, hopefully it's a good one. I'll review that page there that you linked on, that you mentioned from QRZ and see if that's the same thing. But I'm not thinking it's the same thing. I imagine there's too many of these popping up. Anyways, you asked the question about any upcoming events other than St. Patrick's Day, and maybe even getting out there for the spring equinox. Maybe that would be a good thing to maybe memorialize with an activation. And then after that, of course, it's the eclipse on the 8th. So hopefully people have gone to the library and picked up their glasses to keep their eyes safe. And with that, yeah, those are the upcoming events that I'm aware of. Back to you there, Chuck.
Yeah, okay. I just actually last night I just asked the wife there, to stop in at the library over here on Kenilworth, I think it is. They have a little house there. They converted into um, a library, and hopefully they got classes there. So, yeah, it's what, 3 weeks from today or something, isn't it?
April 8th, so I'm thinking something in the ballpark of 3 weeks. Yeah, that should be about right. I mean, we're on the 13th now, and isn't there 31 days, so maybe 3.5 weeks-ish?
Yeah, yeah. So I think it's on a Monday, the 8th. Yep, the 8th is on a Monday. So there you go, about a little over 3 weeks.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting event. So hopefully we can take it in safely. Safely being the key word, I guess. But yeah, if let's see, I think this is the same one, but they've linked the YouTube video. I wish at some point they just said what the name of the program was, but I guess I gotta scan a YouTube video. So I will listen along while you pick up some more callers for tonight, and maybe on the next round I'll know if it's the same program that they're talking about. Thanks for doing it, Chuck. VA3NCA. Back to you.
All right, I do know it's a link to a YouTube video. So yeah, let us know there next round. Okay, so we'll clear with VA3NCA. Let's see who else is out there would like to check in with us on the weekly AREG net. This is VA3CJZ.
VE3 LBI.
VE3LBI. Larry, come on in, sir.
Yep, just a quick check-in. Excuse me, right now I'll be back in a few minutes. Something I got to do, so just wanted to give you a check-in, but I'll be back on the list.
Okay, very good, Larry. You are in the log. And so is Al. Al via V3NFL or VA3NFL asked me to put him in the log there a little early. So he's in there as well. And I'd like to say congrats to Bill, VE3IUK, for doing his first solo activation yesterday. So congratulations, Bill. And now you got the first one under your belt. It gets easier every time, I'm pretty sure. So very good then. Anyone else out there wishing to check in or have any comment, please come now. This is VA3CJZ.
VA3NE portable.
VA3NE portable. Kevin, I tried listening. I tried to get you today, but my noise level was just so high, and I was hearing stations hundreds of miles away better than you. But come on in.
Yeah, that's how them HF bands are. Yeah, I heard you in there. I got you in the log.
Yeah, very good. So how'd you make out?
Yeah, 54 contacts. I think I did 30 of them on 29 or 30 on 20 meters. Then, yeah, I did about another 20 on 10 meters. And then I went to 6 meters and I worked 4 locals here. Larry, Serafino. Who else did I work? I can't even remember everybody. I think Chris, WPG, and who else was it? I can't even think.
How about MQ or QU? He sounded really good when I was listening.
Yeah, he was actually blasting loud audio. Yeah, he boomed into the beach trip there, no problem. And I also worked France, Brazil, was it Cuba, Spain, Italy.
Oh, wow. Very good then. So you were in a good spot. Did you encounter lots of noise, or how were conditions for you?
No, I think that's why I heard everybody really good. I could hear a pin drop when you're down by the beach there, away from the city and all the man-made noise.
Oh,
Nice and quiet.
That a boy. Very good. Okay, well, congratulations on another successful activation. How's your bike doing? I remember hearing you saying that you're having issues with the charging. Has that worked itself out?
Yeah, that bike got stolen. Then I got it back, but it looked like a clown bike. It was all messed up. So I went and bought a new one. And the guy on Ottawa Street, he took the taxes off, and I gave him the old bike. It's funny, I went in there, I owed him $50. I went and give it to him the other day, and there's my old bike all stripped down and his mechanic working on it. That'll be the third time he gets to sell that bike, eh? When I bought it off him, it had his name on it, but somebody bought it from him. They brought it back, bought a bigger bike. I bought it off him for the second time. Now he's fixing it up, going to sell it for the third time.
Oh, that's funny. Well, there you go. They're going to make money on it for a third time.
Yeah, but my brand new bike, it's a little bit smaller, but it's the same, just a 60 volt. It's got a stereo on it. Mind you, I don't use the stereo. I find it distracting. I ride with the Zoe going on the portable here. That's about all. Half the time I can't hear it with the traffic noise anyhow. But yeah, today was one of the best solo activations I ever did. 54 contacts, and I wish I would have brought the 7,000 in the battery last year. Oh, well, it's a lot of fun, though. Can't wait to go out and do another one. Anyhow, I know not too many people can hear me, so I'll keep her short there. I'll be listening along. I've been listening along since George was in there, by the way. I was eating some veggie dip there, veggies and dip, and I figured I'd check in now. VA3 any.
Yeah, very good there, Kevin. And yes, for those who cannot hear Kevin, just go to YouTube and put in my call in the YouTube search, and we're live right now, and it's 8:52 p.m. There is a clock on the screen. You can slide that slider at the bottom to a few minutes prior, and you'll be able to hear, Kevin and whoever else you can't hear. And so with that, Kevin, very good then. I know you went out with Bill yesterday, get him started there, give him a hand, and let him do his thing. Do you know how many check-ins they ended up with?
I can't remember. I think he got about 30 of them, between 22, 30, something like that. I'm not sure. But yeah, he was having a ball. He loved it. He's going to have fun with that little QRP radio in the Pac-12. Yeah, he was doing really good, especially for the bands. Eh? Well, you heard how the bands were. They haven't been that good the last few days.
Yeah, I noticed on QRZ the sunspots are way down. They're down to 86. Normally they're 140. So and the A index is a 12, and the K index is a 2. But under the HF conditions, it's showing pretty good for most of the bands. Just poor nighttime for 10 and 12 meter, and other than that, it's all good, and a little two of them are fair. So, oh yeah, that reminds me. I just want to remind everyone that UTC Zulu 0 Zulu time now has changed from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. now that we did the time change. So UTC 000 is now at 8 p.m. Just want to remind everybody of that when they're doing their hunting and want to cross over into the next day. And oh yeah, that reminds me. So technically, it's after 8 o'clock. So we're technically the 14th of March, and it's my anniversary. Well, it's not my wedding anniversary, but it's my ham license anniversary. It's coming up officially tomorrow there, but Under UTC time, it is already tomorrow. I thought I'd throw that out there. And so, anyways, thanks for checking in, Kevin. Anything else before I carry on?
That's about it. Hey, is it 6 years coming up already? 6 years?
Exactly. 6 years now.
And it seems like just a couple years ago, eh? Time goes by fast. That's what I was thinking the other day. Holy cow, I got mine in 2008. And seems like doesn't seem like that long ago, but it is. That's a fairly long time. And I don't know if you heard my $535 QRP radio is a brick now, eh? I don't know what's going on with that. It won't power on or nothing. You hold the power button, it'll come on a clear screen, and that's about all. I've seen one or two other people in the forums saying about it. And so far, no fix or no known fix anyhow.
You can go for your 2-letter call now.
Yeah, I think last year I could have done that. But Kevin, I think, does that have a CMOS battery in it? I'm wondering if that's failed. You should have Dave or somebody look at it.
Yeah, I took the battery cover off. It's got just like a little blue battery pack. And no, it's funny, it doesn't unplug or nothing. It's soldered right into the switch.
Oh, I hate those. Yeah, I've got a radio here that the battery is soldered in. I had to look at a YouTube video. There's a way. It's just a little bit of work, but that's how it is, right? They make it a little bit tricky. It's not like a computer board. You just open up the computer and pop out the CMOS battery and put a new C2032 in there, and away you go.
Yeah, I had it hooked up to a power supply too. And then I was doing CW on it all day and listening to CW. Worked a couple POTA stations. Then I went for dinner. After dinner, I went to turn it on, and it wouldn't turn on. I've tried a few times, but I don't know. Who knows? Maybe one day I'll find a fix for it. Okay, I'll be back on the side there, Chuck. I think you got that other on this day coming up, or did you already know it? Yeah, I haven't heard it yet, I don't think. But I'll be sandybagging here, VA3NE.
Okay there, Kevin. Well, like I said there, maybe if you ask Dave or somebody to have a quick look, maybe it's an easy fix for you. I wish you luck with that. Okay, so we'll clear with VA3NE, and let's see if we have anyone else out there waiting in the wings that would like to check in with us here on the weekly Amateur Radio Exchange Group. This is VA3CJZ. My name is Chuck, and I'm looking for check-ins. Is there a recheck there? Go ahead.
VA3 CRF here. Just about back. But just if folks or the windows moon.
Okay, well, I don't know if someone could relay that because all I got was noise. Vern, your signal was just up and down and in the mud, and I did not hear anything out of that. Is there a relay?
I can cover that. Victor Alpha 3, India Mike Whiskey.
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Yeah, Vern was just bringing to our attention that just adjacent to the moon, you can actually see Jupiter. And if you really, really look hard, you can probably see even the shadow of the moons around Jupiter. And nice, clear, bright sky. So he was just mentioning that was something he was able to see in the night sky. Back to you, Chuck.
Oh, very good. You know what? That one word I did pick out was Jupiter. I wasn't sure, but oh, very good then, Vern. Yeah, then a great night for stargazing. It is clear out there apparently, and so yeah, um, I like it when you're outside of the city, out in and you look up the sky and you can actually see things you normally wouldn't. Very good. Thanks, Vern. Anything else?
That's it for now,
Okay, all I caught was 7-3 Chuck and then just noise. Okay, very good then. So let's quickly go through the contests that are coming up. There are several that are CW and one or two that's sideband. And so let's start off with the John Rollins Memorial DX contest, and that's for CW for 20 meter, 40, and 80. Next, what do we have? That's the St. Patrick's Day contest, and that's for PSK 31. I don't know anyone who's doing that, but it's for 6 meters, 10, 15, 20, 40, 80, and 160. Then there's the Bart GHF RTTY contest and the Russian DX contest, which is sideband and CW for 10 meters, 15, 20, 40, 80, and 160. So if you don't have any Russian stations in your log, this weekend will be good for that. It doesn't start at the normal 8 o'clock 0 Zulu time on Friday night. It'll start on Saturday. Then we have the F9 AA Cup for sideband, 2 meter, 10, 15, 20, 40, and 80. Again, sideband for 2 meters, 10, 15, 20, 40, and 80. And then there's the Africa All Mode International DX contest. Geographic focus is Africa, but the participation is worldwide. And that is for CW, sideband, and RTTY for the bands 10, 15, 20, 40, 80, and 160. And let's see now. There's a very short AGCW UHF VHF contest for 2 meter and 440. And finally, we have the Virginia QSO party starting at 1400 Zulu time, March 16th to 0400 Zulu, March 17th. And then again at 1200 Zulu, ending at 2400 Zulu, March 17th. So it's split up. And finally, we have the UBA Spring Contest for sideband for 80 meters only. And of course, for Debbie, we have Run for the Bacon QRP Contest for CW, 10 meters, 15, 20, 40, 80, and 160 to round out the contests this weekend. If you need any more information, just open up your browser and type in contestcalendar.com for more information. Do we have any other check-ins or comments or questions before we start the trivia and on this day portion of the net? Oh, Bill says 27 and then 54. So 27 contacts, and it was a twofer for 54. There you go. That makes sense. Well, thanks, Bill. Well, very good then. Congratulations. So Kevin was close. He thought it was around anywhere between 22 and 29 or 30 check-ins, and he was right. Okay. Any questions, comments, or check-ins? Please come now.
Tree BK.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, BK.
Yeah, for Kevin, read there, VA3NE. Yeah, try a factory reset on that radio, Kevin, if you're there.
Yeah, it won't let me do none of that. Yeah, there's, yeah, you're supposed to hold in a couple buttons as powering it on. Yeah, it won't even do any of that. Yeah. What a waste. $500 gone down the drain. Oh, well, at least I got my other radios.
Well, I don't know. Made in China. Maybe that's it. Yeah, it works. It works right away, but not continuously. Oh well. Well, good luck with it. There'll probably be a fix for it sooner or later. Okay, thanks for letting me in there, Chuck. I just thought I'd say that, and I guess you can't do it. So anyway, B3 BK.
All right. Well, it was worth a try there, Bill. And yeah, I'm sure somebody can figure it out. Don't throw it away. Okay, very good then. So where are we gonna go here? Fun facts. Yeah, let's go back to that. So let's start off with octopus. Octopuses have 3 hearts and 9 brains. They have one central brain in the head, and each arm has a sort of a brain that's connected to the main one in the head. So a very, very smart animal. They actually think that octopuses come from somewhere else, not Earth. They're not indigenous. There's no genome. There's no ancestor. There's no nothing to the octopus. So pretty interesting animal. Speaking of animals, cows don't actually have 4 stomachs. They have one stomach with 4 compartments. Has anyone ever seen a cow with a hole in its side there, where you can actually see the food going in there? They have these. They put these holes in the side of the cow, and they put like a plastic tubing, just 3-4 inches, and you can stick your arm right inside. It's really weird. Remember last week or the week before, I mentioned that platypus, when they sweat milk. Well, also, the platypus doesn't have a stomach at all. Their esophagus goes straight into their intestines. All right, more animal stuff here. This is one animal myth that's true. Eating parts of a pufferfish can kill you because, in a defense mechanism to ward off predators, it contains a deadly chemical called tetrodotoxin. There's enough in one pufferfish to kill 30 people. And get this, there's no known antidote. Still, pufferfish, called fugu, is a highly prized delicacy in Japan, but can only be prepared by a well-trained chef. Yeah, you only get one shot at doing it right. Let's put it that way. And did you know polar bears have black skin? And actually, their fur isn't white, it's see-through. So it appears white as it reflects light. I did not know that. And a tiger's skin is actually striped, just like their fur. Also, no 2 fur patterns are alike. And flamingos are only pink because of chemicals called carotenoids in the algae and fish that they eat. Turns their colors grayish white, turns pink. Their feathers are actually grayish white when they're born. So I don't know how long it takes, but not very long apparently, because once they start eating their favorite foods, they start turning pink. There you go. Does anyone know what the deadliest animal in the world is? Mosquitoes are the deadliest animal in the world. They kill more people than any other creature due to the diseases they carry. So there you go. All right, this isn't a joke, but what do Miss Piggy and Yoda have in common? Anyone? They were both voiced by the same person, puppeteer Frank Oz. Oh no, so Yoda is Miss Piggy, and Miss Piggy is Yoda. There you go. Psycho was the first movie to show a toilet flushing. Okay. That's like the first scene of two people in a bedroom. I think it was on Archie Bunker, and they both had separate beds in there. That was quite the history making episode, apparently. Uh, One of the most famous movie lines in history was never said. We often quote, "Play it again, Sam," from Casablanca with Humphrey Bogart. The real line is, "Play it, Sam. Play as time goes by." That's what he actually says. All right. You know the Matrix movie? The green code in the Matrix movie was actually created from symbols in the code designer's wife's sushi cookbook. So the Matrix is a sushi recipe. All right. Uh, Next. There are no muscles in your fingers. Their function is controlled by muscles in your palms and arms, tendons. The hardest working muscle in your body is your heart. It pumps more than 2,000 gallons of blood a day and beats more than 2.5 billion times in a 70-year lifespan. Huh. Brick, have you counted your heartbeats? You should be at 2.5 billion, no?
Oh, probably double that.
And the other, Rick, too. Well, I think I said this before. It's impossible to hum while holding your nose. All right, so we'll end with the trivia, and we'll go to on this day. Oh wait, I have on this day old sayings too. I wanted to get to real quick. Everyday phrases that have old origin stories. Does anyone know what "close but no cigar" actually the meaning is from? Back in the 1800s, you'd hear this phrase if you were a loser at the carnival. Close but no cigar. Common prizes back then were cigars. So a smug carny would use the phrase on you if you were close to winning but still lost and won't be getting a prize. All right. Burning the midnight oil. Of course, this phrase means that you're staying up late and working hard on something. Back before electricity, candlelight or lamp oil was used to light up a room. And so when you stayed up late for work, you were literally burning the oil at midnight. Get off your high horse. Cars weren't always around, and horses used to be the best form of transportation. Owning a horse was a sign that you were part of the upper class. The phrase "get off your high horse" is asking the uppity horse owner to jump off their horse, humble themselves, and lose entitlement. Now, here's a really cool one: as mad as a hatter. We've all heard that. You remember the Mad Hatter from Alice in Wonderland, right? Well, he's based on a real issue that was common with hatters in the 17th and 18th centuries. A side effect of making felt hats was often mercury poisoning, which can cause issues that lead you to go insane. Or back then it was mad. There you go. All right, next, take it with a grain of salt. Now, this phrase has one of the oldest origin stories on the list. Originally seen in 77 AD, this phrase wasn't made popular until the 17th century. It was thought that a grain of salt would help the digestion and could also be an effective antidote for poison. Nowadays, the phrase means to avoid taking things literally or approach things with skepticism. So there you go. All right. Any questions or comments before I move on to On This Day? This is VA3CJZ, and we're also looking for check ins. All right. So let's move to On This Day 159. And today is March 13th, and we have famous birthdays on March 13th. If this was on, forget that. Let's start off with Juan Rodriguez Cabrillo. He was born in 1499 on this day, and he's a Portuguese Spanish conquistador who conquered Central America and later discovered California. Next, we have an astronomer called Percival Lowell. Born on this day in 1855, he's an American astronomer who predicted the discovery of Pluto, and he was right. He's also founder of the Lowell Observatory in Flagstaff, Arizona. He was born in Boston, Mass. Next, born on this day is everyone's favorite Scientologist, L. Ron Hubbard. Born on this day in 1911, he is known as an American sci-fi writer and wrote Dianetics, and he's the founder of the Church of Scientology. He was born in Nebraska, passed away in 1986. Next, who used to read Mad Magazine? I would faithfully buy that when I had money back in the day every month. And we have Al Jaffe, born on this day, 1921. Sounds familiar? Well, he's an American comic strip cartoonist and illustrator for Mad Magazine, born in Savannah, Georgia. He passed away last year. So, you know the character on the front page of the Mad Magazine? Does anybody know his name? Alfred E. Newman. God, that was a great magazine. Killed a lot of time reading those. Neil Sedaka was born on this day, 1939. An American singer and songwriter. Breaking Up Is Hard to Do was one of them. And Love Will Keep Us Together was another famous one. He was born in Brooklyn, New York, 1939. Next, we've got the lead singer of Sha Na Na, Donnie York, born on this day, 1949. He joined Sha Na Na in 1969 until present. I guess they're still performing. You know, that was one of the first concerts I ever went to, but it was billed for the headliner of April Wine. And Sha Na Na, in my opinion, did a better show than April Wine did. He was born in Boise, Idaho. Donnie York, still alive. Next, we've got Kathy Hilton. You know, from the Hilton Hotels. She was born on this day, 1959. She is Mama Hilton, American socialite, Hilton Hotels, mother of Nikki and Paris Hilton, born in New York City. And finally, on my list of famous people born on this day, Danny Masterson. You might remember him from that 70s show. He's currently in prison for rape. He was born on this day in 1976. He was known as Hyde on that 70s show, and he's a convicted sex offender, born in Long Island, New York. Any comments or questions or check-ins before I move on to famous deaths on March 13th? All right, we'll start with famous deaths with Alexander II in 1881. On this day, the Tsar of Russia, from 1855 to 1881. He was assassinated by members of far-left terror group People's Will at the age of 62. All right, jumping way ahead to the year 2006, and passing away is Robert C. Baker, inventor of the chicken nugget. He was born in 1921. Any of you used to watch wrestling with, when it was called WWF, and then it switched over to WWE? One of the up-and-comers, his name was Test. He passed away in 2009 of an accidental overdose of the prescription pain medication oxycodone at the age of 33. His real name was Andrew Martin, and he's a Canadian professional wrestler with the Wrestling Syndicate. I didn't know that. I liked him. All right, next we go to the year 2017, and passing away is Ed Whitlock. Ed Whitlock is a British-Canadian runner, and he's the oldest person to run a marathon under 4 hours at the age of 85. And he passed away a year later at the age of 86. Finally, on my list of famous people dying on this day, in 2021, we have Marvelous Marvin Hagler, American boxer, undisputed world middleweight champion from 1980 to 87. And he has the second longest unified championship reign in history. He was 66 when he died. All right, let's move on to historical events on March 13. In the year 1639, on this day, Cambridge College, Massachusetts, is renamed Harvard for clergyman John Harvard. And it seems my next story here is, or fact, is once a week I always find something about Jews. Once again, in 1656, Jews are denied the right to build a synagogue in New Amsterdam. Remember last week I told you New Amsterdam is now called New York City? So there you go, 1656. By the way, in 1664, that's when they renamed it New York after, I think, the British came in. Okay, in 1778, 2 years after the Americans declare independence, France informs Great Britain of their treaty of alliance with the United States. Great Britain responds with a declaration of war against France 4 days later. Next, we have Herschel discovers Uranus. Not yours, just Uranus. In 1781, William Herschel sees what he thinks is a comet but is actually the discovery of the planet Uranus.
You bring out the 12-year-old in all of us.
I know. Oh, well. All right. In 1869, on March 13th, Arkansas legislature passes the Anti-Ku Klux Klan law. I don't know what that entails, but there you have it. 1877, American Chester Greenwood patents earmuffs after inventing them at the age of 15. So earmuffs go all the way back to 1877. Oh, this is the same story as people passing away. 1881, Alexander II of Russia is assassinated by members of the terror group People's Will, who throw a bomb at him. Oh, there we go. In the city of St. Petersburg. Okay. So let's jump to 1888 now. The Great Blizzard of 1888 rages across the east coast of the USA and Canada. Sorry, but I have no recollection. That wasn't 1988. That was 1888. All right. We've all seen horse races, right? Well, in 1894, J.L. Johnstone, England, invents horse racing's starting gate. You know, the flap that opens all of the gates at once? That was invented in 1894. And in 1897, San Diego State University is founded. Some of these universities are pretty old. All right, I can't resist this next one. In the year 1900, in France, the length of the working day for women and children is limited by law to 11 hours. The men work only 8, but the women and children work 11. No, I'm just kidding about that last part. It doesn't say that. But there you go. Anyone heard the term Mata Hari? Well, Mata Hari was an exotic dancer, a courtesan, and German spy. In 1905, Mata Hari first performs her dance act at the Guimet Museum in Paris. And so, using that platform, she would spy for Germany. Or, yeah. 1921, Mongolia, formerly called Outer Mongolia, declares independence from China back in 1921. In 1923, American inventor Lee DeForest demonstrates his sound on film moving pictures in New York City. So I'm guessing this is when sound first come to the moving pictures. All right, in 1925, on this day, Tennessee makes it unlawful to teach evolution. We're all put here by God. There's no evolution. So Tennessee makes it unlawful. All right, and in 1935, driving tests are introduced in Great Britain. So here we go. I'm guessing people finally found out that not everyone should be allowed to drive an automobile. Smart people. There you go. And in 1943, baseball approves the official ball with cork and something called balata. I don't know what that is, but 1943, official baseball. And in 1945, the Dutch monarch Queen Wilhelmina returns to Netherlands after 5 years in exile in the UK. Actually, yeah, in the UK. Actually, I think we hosted her daughter, and that's why the Dutch give tulip bulbs to Canada every year since. Next, let's go to 1965. British guitarist Eric Clapton quits the Yardbirds due to the band moving away from traditional blues. Jeff Beck becomes his replacement in the Yardbirds. Interesting. That's back in 1965. In 1968, the Beatles released their single Lady Madonna in the UK. All right, the date is 1968. Nerve gas accident at Skull Valley, Utah kills 6,000 sheep. Now, what kind of a nerve gas accident are we talking about here in 1968? What were they doing in Utah? I'd like to know. All right, the year is 1979. NHL New York Islanders Mike Bossy's 5th career hat trick on this day. And then in 1980, on this day, American serial killer John Wayne Gacy receives a death sentence in Illinois for the murder of 12 people. I think there were many, many more. Who remembers the Ford Pinto blowing up? In 1980, the Ford Motor Company found innocent in the death of 3 women in a fiery Pinto crash explosion. I think when you rear-ended the back of the vehicle, it would blow up. And in 1986, if you had a little bit of money and you invested in Microsoft, you'd be filthy rich today, because in 1986, on this day, Microsoft has its initial public offering, which means you could buy shares and be on the stock market. All right, here's a cool history fact here. In 1988, Japan's Seikan Tunnel, Seikan, the Seikan Tunnel, the world's longest tunnel with an underwater segment that is 53.9 kilometers in total. And it opens on this day in 1988, connecting Honshu and Hokkaido by rail. The Channel Tunnel remains the longest underwater tunnel in the world. All right, Exxon is our next story. In 1991, Exxon pays $1 billion in fines and cleanup for the Exxon Valdez oil spill. $1 billion. That's 33 years ago. It's a lot of dough. Oh, get this. In the 1992, the FCC rules that companies can own 30 AM and 30 FM stations. Before that, they could only own 12 of them. Interesting. In 1997, the Phoenix Lights, you might have heard about that, are seen at night over Phoenix, Arizona by hundreds of people and by millions on television. Now it's a hotly debated controversy. We're talking aliens. All right, in 2006, we have the 21st Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees, which include Black Sabbath, Blondie, Miles Davis, Leonard Skinner, the Sex Pistols, Herb Alpert, and Jerry Moss. That's in 2006. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees. All right. In 2008, gold prices on the New York Mercantile Exchange hits $1,000 an ounce for the first time. This is in 2008. Now, today, gold is worth about $2,100, $2,200 an ounce. That's 100% plus increase in just what, 16 years. Crazy. All right, who here had an encyclopedia or a collection of them at home growing up? I know we did. And in 2012, Encyclopedia Britannica announces that it will no longer publish printed versions of its encyclopedia. I guess you can buy them online now only. So if you have the paperback versions, they might be worth money. There you go. All right, 3 more to go. In 2019, on this day, a member of the New York Gambino mob family, Frank Cali, is shot dead outside his home. And it's the first killing of a high-ranking mobster since 1985. And this happened just 5 years ago in 2019. All right, 2020 is the year Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates steps down from the company's board to focus on philanthropic activities. The guy is into a lot of different things, not just philanthropic. And finally, we'll end with the year 2023. Last year, on this day, vinyl records outsell CDs in the United States for the first time since 1987. 41 million vinyl records versus 33 million CDs. I got to get another record player. I really do. So that's it for On This Day in History, and a little bit of trivia in there. And hopefully some of you were entertained, and hope you enjoyed it as much as I did researching it and repeating it back to you all. Do we have any comments or questions or check-ins? Any last-minute check-ins for the AREG net? Please come now. This is VA3 CJZ. All right, so that means we'll go to the top of the list and see if George is still with us. VE3 Golf Bravo Delta. George, you there? All right, let's go to Downtown Rick. Victor Alpha 3, Alpha X-Ray Juliet. Rick.
Yeah, I'm still here, Chuck. Got a question. I got a buddy of mine. He's got an LG phone. It's a flip phone. That's, I don't know, probably 14 years old. He's looking to get a battery for it. What would be the best place to probably find one of those?
Well, the short answer would be to Google it. Get the model number and Google it. If it's that old, it may cost a little bit to get, because I've noticed that things that are a little outdated cost a lot more than some of the newer items that are flooding the market. So you might be lucky on AliExpress. I don't know.
Yeah, because he's had it for at least 14 years, eh? And it's finally dead. It won't even turn on now. As I said, it's probably cheaper for him to buy a new phone than it is to buy an actual battery for it.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's like these new handheld radios that that are really popular now. The Quansheng radio. You'll spend $30 on the radio, but it's $20 and change to buy a battery. So you're better off just to buy another radio.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna tell him. He's better off just to. I've got a flip phone here. You can have it, but I don't even know the name. I don't even know the name of it. I used it for about a week, and I put it in the drawer and forgot about it. And I bought my other one now. Maybe I'll just give him that phone, and I don't know. It's never been that well. It's been activated. I've used it for about maybe a week. I don't know if the battery would still be good.
Well, if he's that attached to that phone, he could all look to buy that same phone online too. If he, if it's if it's expensive to buy the battery, and it's just a couple bucks more to replace the whole phone, you might want to try looking for that. But yeah, my suggestion would be to just Google it, Google the model number of the battery, and it'll come up.
Yeah. I think that's what they told him to do. And anyhow, yeah, good night there, Chucky. We'll stand by for the rest and get the 7.3 round, and we'll be listening.
Yeah, well, I was kind of doing this as a 7.3 round there, Rick.
All right then, 7.3. Catch everybody later. Thanks for doing the net, and have a good night and a better day tomorrow. And we'll be not QRT. We'll be listening for a bit, but VA3XJ. We'll be standby.
All right there, Rick. Yeah, I want to head out after the net there and maybe have a smoke and a coffee outside. It's showing it's 13.5 degrees outside, and it's still beautiful. So I do want to thank everyone who took time out to check in with us, either here or on the YouTube stream. Thank you so much. I do appreciate it. And want to acknowledge Michael Cade, Kilo India 5, Sierra Papa Alpha from Arkansas, checking in earlier. Sorry there, Michael. I was probably busy, didn't have a chance to get to the YouTube stream. And we have Bill, VE3IUK, who mentioned that the Flintstones was the first time you saw a couple in the same bed. The Flintstones was an adult primetime TV show. I don't think we watched the same Flintstones. We'll have to talk about that there, Bill. Okay, so we got Jason next. VE3ZJC. Are you still around, Jason? 7-3 round. All right, how about Tom? VE3MQ.
Yeah, I'm still here, Chuck. Just listening along. 7-3 doll.
All right, Tom. Thank you very much for listening along, and hopefully you were slightly entertained. So let's go to North End, Richard. VE3 Bravo Kilowatt 7-3 round, Rick.
Yeah, okay, Chuck. Yeah, 7-3 to everybody on there. And great job on doing those tidbits of information there, Chuck. They're always interesting to hear stuff you didn't know, just like you commented a few times on that. So some of the stuff you didn't know and some of the stuff you'll never use, but it's still interesting to hear some of the stuff. Anyway, thanks for doing that, Chuck, and thanks for being there. Just a reminder to everybody on the net, there's a few people on your net here that do not check into my net on Monday night there again. And I said my net, but it's really a Hamilton Amateur Radio Club, and there is a couple of backup operators on it too. But on Monday nights, we're on 3.692. And so anybody that has 80 meters or 75 meter capabilities are more than welcome to just check in. And we talk about anything, because it's not as structured as Chuck's net here, but we talk about anything. If somebody needs help on something, I'm sure there's enough experienced guys that check in that can help out. Anyway, there's a plug.
Anyway, keep up the good work there, Chuck. VA3 CJZ V3 BK.
Get your head out of the toilet.
Oh, somebody talking over me?
Oh, I was just saying, get your head out of the toilet.
Yeah, okay.
All right, Rick, that's right. Every Monday night after the 2 meter, 70 centimeter net at 7 o'clock on the NCF repeater, we have the 80 meter net on 3.692. It used to be 693, but there seems to be a couple of old, grumpy old men on 295, and they don't like Rick on 293. So drop in, say hi, and give him a quick check in. Thanks, Rick. And thank you for sticking around and your check in, of course. And let's see, where am I next? On the list, we have none other than Mac, VA3 IMW.
None other indeed. VA3 IMW for ID. And somehow, in my memory banks, what stands out to me was that the Dick Van Dyke Show was the first television show that actually showed a married couple in bed. However, there was something about he had to have one foot on the floor or something like that. But I'm pretty sure that was before the Flintstones and in advance of Archie Bunker. So maybe some more detailed research on a really inconsequential fact would be required. Anyways, super duper net, Chuck, lots of great information. And thanks for doing it. Certainly appreciate your dedication to the hobby. And RBGL 73s, I will monitor probably on the Zoe repeater until pumpkin time, and we'll see what happens tomorrow with other activities. 73s for the time being. Back to you, Chuck.
Yes, now you're making me think, Mac. You're probably right. Dick Van Dyke, but they had two separate beds. And I think All in the Family was a night where Archie had gone to visit the wife in her bed. That might have been the episode that made history. I'll have to do some more research. I'll try and remember that for next week there, Mac. Very good. Thanks for that, pointing that out. That's what this is all about. You know, it's not just me rattling off things. It's to make you think, to correct me if I'm wrong or what I'm reading is wrong, and things like that. So awesome job, folks. Thank you, Mac. And let's see if Vanya is still around. Victor Alpha 3, X-Ray Lima Juliet. Okay, how about Vern? I think he's done his. Well, you never know. He might still be around. VA3 Charlie Romeo Foxtrot. Okay, how about Victor Echo 3 Lima Bravo India? Last call, Larry.
Still here, Chuck. Listen along. You mentioned about the Mad magazine. I was in Shoppers Saturday, and there was a picture on the front cover of, I don't know what magazine it was, but it was of the Mad magazine.
Oh, there you go. Maybe there's an anniversary or something happening, but the guy or the face that's illustrated on Mad, it's the guy's name is Alfred E. Newman.
Yep, I caught that. But when you said that, it just dawned on me that, like I said, I was in there Saturday morning to pick up a newspaper, and right at the counter, leaving the Shoppers Drug Mart, there was a Mad magazine. I don't think it was a magazine, I never picked it up, but it just caught my eye, and I thought, oh, I remember that. So I'm not sure what it was, tribute to him or something. But anyways, I just thought I'd throw that in there.
Yeah, yeah. And you know what else I miss, Larry? Is the TV guide, paperback.
Yeah, the old 10, 15-cent TV guide that you could go through and different things and articles that were in it and all the rest of it. Oh yeah, yep, that used to be a Friday night. Pick up the TV guide when you went shopping at the convenience store.
Yeah, yeah. And I think, well, I know they had a thin paper version that came with the Saturday newspaper, and you had one in there. But the actual TV guide, yeah, you had to either subscribe to it or buy it at the local store. Okay, Larry, thank you so much for checking in and sticking around. I do appreciate it, sir. Anything else?
Nope, that's it, Chuck. But I just when you said that, yeah, you guys, a couple other magazines used to be out there too and stuff. So this was interesting. Anyways, okay, nope, back over to you. Thanks for doing it. The E3LBI.
All right, my favorite was Tiger Beat. No, remember all those teen magazines? All right, so we'll clear with VE3LBI, and we'll go to the last person on my list is my neighbor Kevin, VA3NE Portable. Are you there, Kevin?
Yeah, it's still here. Good net there, Chuck. Yeah, very interested. All them things you were going on there. Yeah, Mad Magazine when I was younger, and I was missing my front tooth. My brother used to tease me saying I look like that guy.
That's funny. Yeah, yeah. If you wanted a good laugh, another good one was I think when they had Spy versus Spy. Remember those two pointy nosed guys? One was black, one was white.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they were a lot of fun. That reminds me, as a kid, we didn't have any tablets or phones or anything like that. What we did when we ate cereal, we read the cereal box over and over from one end to the other. Sat there with a box in front of you and you'd read it. So, anyways, thanks, Kevin. Do appreciate it, sir. And you are check-in number 14, by the way, which is not bad considering how nice of a night this is. I'm surprised we got this many check-ins. Let's see if we missed anyone or we have any last-minute check-ins for this week's AREG net. Please come now. This is VA3CJZ.
Yeah, where's Garnet?
Yeah, I don't know. I did hear a comment in there. Was that Wade? Go ahead.
VA3CJZ, VA3NCA. Yeah, it's me, Chuck, 7-3, and thanks for running it again. Just a couple of things, I guess, to go with the theme that came up there. On Star Trek, the original, there was also the first interracial on-screen kiss between the Captain Kirk and Uhura. So there was that. And just a pointer for Kevin there, if it's completely dead when you power on, no sign of life, you'll often, maybe it's a fuse or something like that. Like it could be a solid state fuse or a fuse like you'd normally see. Look for something like that, because if there's absolutely no signs of life, it'll sometimes be something along those lines. If you have a power supply where you can put into current limiting mode, you might try setting that and hooking it up where the battery goes and seeing if it'll power that way, or if it starts pulling a huge amount of load. When you do it that way, that's why you have a current limit. You'll also know there might be a short. Take a look for that. And the last thing on my list there, Chuck, before I say 7.3 is I can confirm it is the HEM2K portable logger, and the short form for that is POLO. Papa Oscar Lima Oscar Polo, but the full name HEM2K portable logger. Yeah, I'm still trying to get it installed, but it's in beta right now, and we'll see how it goes. Anyways, that's it for me. I'll send it back to you, VA3NCA.
All right, very good there, Wade. And let's see if Kevin is still listening. Did you hear that, Kevin?
No, I couldn't hear it all. I'm sitting on the couch with the handy-talkie.
Okay. Do you get any power at all in your radio when you turn it on?
Well, the screen lights up, but it's clear. Just a clear screen, and it's only if I hold the power button in. Usually you just have to push the button or push the power, and it'll come on. But yeah, it won't come on. And I guess you're supposed to hold the up and down button as you power it on to put it into firmware to upgrade the firmware, and it won't do none of that or anything. I don't know. All it does is when I hold the power button, it'll light up, and that's about all. Clear screen. But yeah, hopefully I'll find a way to fix it.
All right. So when you let go of the button, does it go black again?
Yeah, it only lights up if I hold it in. As soon as I let go, it goes black, and that's about all it can do. I try reset anything. I think you got to have the thing on to do a factory. You got to go in the menu and do a factory reset. And, well, like I said, it won't come on.
Yeah. Wade was mentioning about a fuse to maybe try and replace that and see what happens. Because he was saying if you get no power at all, the chances are it's the internal fuse, but it may help you, being as once you let go of that power button, it goes off again. So wouldn't hurt to try and switch that out.
Oh, I've seen the video on that, and it's kind of hard to get at. You got to, it's at the side. You take the side cover off, and they say it's right behind this little screw. You take the screw out, then you got to unsolder it. It's a tiny little fuse thing on the board, soldered right in. Then you got to put a new one in. That was for people that had no power at all, pushing in the button. I seen that video. No power at all. And yeah, I don't know. You never know. I might have to try that sometime down the road. What?
Okay, Kevin. Well, you know what? Good luck, and you'll find something, I'm sure. All right, so we'll clear with VA3 November Echo, and let's see if we have any last-minute stragglers that would like to check in to the weekly amateur radio exchange group. This is VA3 CJZ looking for anyone, anywhere. All right. Well, look at that. We timed it pretty good. It's 9:57 p.m. and temperature is dropping a bit. It's 13 degrees outside now on my front porch. And so with that, I'm going to say it was a blast. As always, doing the net every week, it really keeps me excited and happy to do it. So thank you all for your check-in through YouTube or through the radio. Remember, if you missed the net or you're just tuning in now, you can always check the YouTube stream and you can hear the net all over again. Just type in VA3CJZ in the YouTube search box. And the title tonight was AREG Week 1590. So please hit the like button and yeah, enjoy the net. So until next week, same bat time, same bat channel. I look forward to hearing all how your week has gone. Have a great weekend. 7-3 all. This is VA3 CJZ.